It has been a very interesting week in gaming. All kinds of news from all kinds of corners of the world involving the gaming industry, and I must say I am, well, quite entertained. Some of it is silly, some of it is serious, and some of it you just, well, kind of expected. So let's get into it. So when looking at the first bit of news, we have No Man's Sky's ambitious update plans for 2020. Now, when No Man's Sky initially released several years back, it was a dumpster fire. It was ridiculed and received quite a bit of vitriol from the fans, especially people who pre-ordered the game and people who were made all these promises and things were never delivered. Fortunately, over the years, the developers have been putting in so much of work into it, all these free updates, and have been expanding on the universe, delivering on their promises, and have been improving on the game to the point where it is by far one of the biggest and best redemption stories in gaming history. At this point in time, I must say, people are still playing this game, new fans like, wherever it is, whatever it may be. It's definitely one of those games where you'd want to get into, especially if you're looking at spending probably thousands of hours traveling through space. Like, that's how big this stuff is. You're going to be probably spending hundreds to thousands of hours just going through every single bit of the entire system and trying to figure out what to do, where to do, and how to do it. There's so much of content in here that you'd probably go missing for some time. You know, you'd probably, the next time your parents or your family sees you, you're gonna have a beard touching the floor if you were to just sit down and play it in one straight go. Next up, we're looking at Nintendo's sales. Very interesting enough, the Nintendo Switch has become the next most important item to gamers besides toilet paper. I'm not really kidding on this one. When you look at it now, during the whole pandemic situation, Nintendo's sales for the Switch has been boosted through the roof, with them running out of stock all over the place. And obviously people or individuals on Amazon and eBay have been selling them for ludicrous prices, which is usually the scalper's way of making money. I mean, that's just how the world works, unfortunately, with a certain group of people. However, Nintendo has decided to boost their production by about 10%. So you're looking at a slightly increased number of units being produced during this year. And we don't know how long this pandemic is going to go on around the world. How many other games are going to be going wild for a Nintendo Switch. But right now, this, like I said, seems to be the second most important item besides toilet paper out there. Next, we have Battlefield 5 having their final update in June. Now, it's no secret that Battlefield 5 has had a very, very rough launch. It was ridiculed by fans, and then the developers decided to take a shot at fans and make fun of fans for doing that. Very horrible take, but be that as it may, people still supported the game up until today. Now, the problem with this was, it exposes that little issue that we have with the whole roadmaps situation. You know, whenever developers lay out these roadmaps and they don't follow it, it just breaks the spirit of the people who supported that game, people who supported that IP, and people who were expecting so much out of a system, or rather so much out of a franchise, and it doesn't really get delivered. It's very disappointing at the end of the day. It also destroys your reputation and the good faith that people have in you in the future. I mean, even your core fans, people who will still support you through everything, no matter how bad it is, it's kind of a letdown. But however, at the same time, fortunately, they did announce it ahead of time instead of just cutting people off in one foul swoop. So yeah, there's just something there to take away from that. The final update has been revealed to be launched in June, and I guess fans are just going to be rushing off to just finish up whatever they have to do in the game. That's the best way to put it. So obviously this is probably being done in order to push more staff toward working on games like Battlefield 6, because it's about time that they obviously released a new Battlefield game, including the fact that we have the PS5 and Xbox Series X around the corner. Chances are they want to have a new Battlefield game probably for launch on that console, just to get it out there, you know, because there's definitely going to be like a Call of Duty game or something like that. There's no way that's not planned. I mean, it's the new generation and people are going to want to have to take advantage of that. Surely they're going to want to get ahead of the competitors as well. Then in a bit more of controversial news, we have Doom Eternal's soundtrack. Now this one was actually poorly mixed. It wasn't really mixed by Mick Gordon. Many people thought that until Mick Gordon himself came out and said, hey, he's not the guy who did it. He did do a few tracks in there. It was somewhat obvious though that something was wrong, and maybe there'll be a fix to this sometime in the future. I'm sure they're going to be re-looking at it. And it was sad to see this happen, because from what I can remember, Mick Gordon had made some of the most legendary music when it came down to the Doom games. I personally am a fan of his work in Killer Instinct. I loved almost every single song that was in that game. It was absolutely brilliant, absolutely amazing. And I must say, in general, the stuff that he just puts out, the quality of it, the way he mixes it, it's nothing short of brilliant. For Bethesda to go and really get somebody else to mix his soundtrack, or rather mix the soundtrack of Doom, that was just nuts. It was a really bad take, and hopefully that gets fixed sometime soon. Then moving on to the more hilarious news. First of all, there being WWE2K. For the first time, they won't be releasing a game. I think it's been about 21 years where they've been releasing a title year after year after year. I don't know if you remember WWE 2K2020. I don't even know how to pronounce it now. WWE 2020. I'm gonna leave it at that. Or 2K20. It was by far one of the most funniest games in history, in my opinion. I mean, the amount of bugs and glitches and things wrong with it, it kind of made its way into like the memes of gaming. For like 2019, that would have to be in the meme of gaming. That's the best way for me to put it. It was just hilarious to see what was going on screen, and thankfully they've decided to take a break. They decided not to make a new WWE game for this year, and obviously they're going to focus on releasing something that isn't as bad. I mean, it was a dumpster fire. It's no secret WWE 2020 was trash. It was good for laughs for people who were watching it, but for people who had to fork out their hard-earned money, I mean, on an annual release, only to be left with something that is completely broken and unplayable, not to mention the fact that everybody was going to laugh at you. Like, I was literally laughing at not just the people who bought the game, but the developers as well. I mean, like, it's unfair to do that. I shouldn't be laughing at the players. But this is what happens when you support these kinds of companies and you just want to consume everything they release year after year. This road was inevitable. We were going to go here at some point in time. It was unavoidable. Moving on to Fallout 76. This was a meme, I think, of 2018, if I remember correctly. It feels like Fallout 76 has been around for so long, because, or like forever, like since the launch of the PS4. The reason why I feel that way is you hear so much of bad news about Fallout 76 to the point where it's just one thing after another with this game. There's like, it's never ending. Well, in a new hilarious update, there's a certain event taking place. I think it's the Wastelanders update for Fallout 76, and basically they finally added NPCs to the game. But that's not the catch to what's going on right now. What's happening is people, when they die, find that their items are missing, or rather their more special or hard-earned weapons are gone. Things that they put hours and hours and hours of playtime into. You know, they spent their life putting this into this game, putting the time into the game, and they got these rewards. When they die, it's disappearing. And what's happening? The NPCs are actually looting players, and there's no way for you to get your items back. Once you lose it, that's it. It's gone forever. It's like, it's a bug right now, but they're working on that, and sometime in the future they're obviously going to fix it. But for now, it's kind of funny to look at all these players who are still supporting this game despite the fact that it is broken, like beyond broken, and it has always been broken, and it's never going to be fixed at this rate. I mean, maybe someday eventually, but by then we're probably going to see the PS5, Xbox Series X, or who even knows, maybe the PlayStation 6. For the final bit of news, we have Call of Duty Warzone with cheater on cheater matches. Now, this one is a bit of a hilarious one. Call of Duty Warzone, free to play game. If you want to get into it, you just gotta basically have the right type of hardware. You just gotta download it, create an account or whatever it may be on PC and things like that, and you're good to go. You're in it. I mean, that's where you are. It does feature crossplay, but unfortunately PC players, or at least 70,000 PC players, have been cheating. I guess they really want to get famous and gain a huge following. I don't know whether it be on social media or through competitive tournaments. I have no idea. Maybe they want to just be the next ninja out there. It doesn't really matter, but they're obviously using some dirty means to do that. The problem with this was we finally get crossplay and it all gets burnt down to the ground thanks to a select group of people. Fortunately, Activision has found a new way, or rather I think it's Infinity Ward has found a rather interesting way to get rid of these cheaters, and that is by putting them together in the same room. That's right. If you're caught cheating, if it's found that you were cheating, you're gonna be matched up with other cheaters. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it, because everybody's just gonna be aimbotting the hell out of each other, and then obviously maybe you won't know that you were put into this room, and then you're just gonna be out there getting blown to hell, and all of a sudden you're gonna start wondering what's going on, and then you're gonna realize, oh wait, I was cheating and they caught me, you know, and now all of a sudden I'm with other cheaters. This is not fun anymore. Let me not cheat. Hopefully that's the situation, rather than people having to turn off crossplay and obviously lose their friends that are on other hardware that don't really have the same devices as them. So if you got a PS4 and one of your mates got a PC, you kind of have to turn off crossplay until obviously this is all fixed, unless obviously you've seen a really huge drastic decrease in the number of cheaters. Whatever the situation is, it's hilarious to see cheaters on cheaters, and it's something which they deserve. Apart from that, I'd prefer if they would just ban outright, but it's a free to play game, so that's kind of impossible. The barrier for entry is about almost non-existent. Well, that's the news for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're on. Turn on the bell notification so you can keep up to date with whatever it is we're doing. As well as leave your comments down below. Have you been affected by any of these stories? Have you been one of those people waiting for Nintendo Switch? Are you a No Man's Sky fan? What do you think about Battlefield 5 final update? And Mick Gordon, the genius when it comes down to making some of the best riffs you're ever going to hear in your entire lifetime. What do you think about it? Are you a fan of Doom's Eternal soundtrack? I love it. And all those Fallout 76 players, how are you guys doing with the NPCs stealing your stuff? I gotta know. And the Call of Duty fans, what about you with your whole warzone thing going on over there with the cheaters? Have you noticed a decrease in it? I mean, if there has been one, just let us know in the comment section down below, so it obviously gets the conversation rolling. Like I said, thanks for watching guys. I will see you in the next video, and until next time, goodbye.